Hello everyone! Ooh, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy, and today we're going to be using the Academy watercolor pad by Bohom. It's down here. It's 100% cotton, 300 GSM paper, 7 by 10. And I'm going to do portrait today. There's a fuzzy on there. This is a slightly toothy paper. A little more toothy than I'm used to, but I thought that would be great for doing a little mountain landscape. This is my Daniel Smith palette. This is what it looks like on paper. The only thing in here that is not Daniel Smith is the Sennelier Indigo. I'm pretty sure everything else in here is Daniel Smith colors. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to set that up there so it's out of the way. I cleaned this off so that I'd have some crispity yellows and blues, oranges and whatnot. I have 2 things of water, and I have, what do you call it? Where's this feeling sticky? Oh. And I have 2 brushes. So we're going to just jump right in. This is a block of paper, so I don't have to tape it. And we can just dive right in. I'm going to wet. This is my Quil round number 7 by Grabie. It's a synthetic brush. I'm just going to go ahead and wet my sky like so. I want my sky to be pretty dominant. And then we're going to jump in with some French ultramarine, which is usually what I put right here. I want to just dab into my paint and put pure color from the palette on the book. And just... Now if you want, you can tilt your paper a little bit and it'll run a bit. You want it a little darker at the top, right? Nice dark color at the top. And then let it do its thing. Let it get lighter as it goes down. Now there are a couple of ways you can do clouds at this point if you want to. You can use a paper towel. I'm really liking that gradient. I do want it a bit more bold up at the edge. And then let it run down and bit more. There we go. Just wanted a bit more bold. You can dry your brush, and I have a paper towel up here. You could dry your brush off, and you can use it to pull out clouds. Touch it. And pick up, or you can drag it. You can scrub it around and make different cloud shapes depending on what you're looking for. I don't want my clouds to be too prominent, but a few is desirable. Another way you can do it is to take your paper towel and just directly press onto your paper. That's going to give you more crispy clouds, more, depending on your paper and your paint, of course. Certain paints lift really well, others don't. Certain papers hold on to color, others don't. You can pull in like that. Grab another crispy edge. Like that. Get some wisps going on. And make it a little more round, a little more bold, pressing in. And don't worry about a little bit of blue squeezing in here and there. There we go. I think that's good. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I want to play with it more, but let's not make the video take too long. Now I wanted to do my granulating colors for my mountain down here, and then put a little bit of plastic paper over the top. So I'm going to grab my Potter's Pink, because it is a nicely granulating color. And again, this is my Daniel Smith palette, so I don't have a lot of granulating colors, but there's a couple. Let's throw in some Moon Glow. Moon Glow is very interesting. It has a bit of blue, a bit of purple, and I think it goes well with the Potter's Pink. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to take a clean brush, same brush, same size. These come to a pretty good point. And I'm going to go ahead and wet where I want my mountains to be. I want them here. That's good. Doesn't need to be elaborate. Doesn't have to have tons of points and be like super crazy amazing. Just throw it down. And I'm gonna wet through here. Nice little bit of water. And then I'm gonna grab Potter's Pink. Drop that in. Might be a little bit strong so I get some really good granulation. There we go. Pop that in, like so. Digging it. Grab a bunch more. And this paper's, like I said, textured really well, so already seeing a lot of nice textures. And then I want to drop in some Moon Glow. Just for variant. Look at the variance in color. And then pull it down to the bottom like so. Like that. And see it's bleeding in my sky. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm picking at my mountains now. I'm going light back here. Super light. Like that. Here I am saying it doesn't have to be elaborate, just picking away. Stop touching the paper. Okay, get your color down as much as you want. And for the plastic technique that I'm going to use, I'm really thinking that more is better with the colors, right? There's some variant in bold. There we go. Alright, now I take my little piece of plastic wrap and I'm just going to set it down and I'm going to shape my mountains. So pat it down like that. And then this is the part where you have to be super patient. You have to wait for all of this to dry. It could take a while depending on your climate, how warm it is in your house, you know, those kinds of factors. I'm going to leave it like that. I like that. See all the little cool marks? It pushes the paint around. Now we're going to just let this dry. I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to work on another project while I'm waiting for this to dry. Because I'm very impatient and my instinct is to just, never mind, and hit it with a heat tool. So I want to try this. So we're going to wait. We're going to let it dry. Takes about I'll time it. I'm thinking about a half an hour. Hi guys, it's been quite a while. I did some work and did other art stuff and now we're ready to go ahead and peel this off. I'm pretty sure it's dry. Dry enough. Let's go ahead and peel it off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that's kind of groovy. I'm not going to throw this away, by the way. I'm just going to wad it up gently and put it over here in a pot to use again later. That's kind of neat. Alright, let's get maybe my cat's tongue brush for a little while. I tend to get lost in my quills and I don't play with my other brushes. I'm going to use the same colors and just kind of Just kind of do a little bit of, actually get some paint on the brush though. There we go. A little bit of moon glow out there as well. Was this the moon glow? It is. Okay. Oh, that's in here. Just dab around. I want to ruin all the fun things that are going on back there. I have a really dark spot right there. That's what I'm looking for. I do love how the sky turned out. That's the flecks of paint that are flitting around in there. Have to be more careful, maybe mask it off last time. I love how the sky turned out. Love, love, love it. And I think I want a little bit of, I want less wet. I want it to be a little less wet. I'm just gonna have that up. I'm feeling foreground, more foreground situation here. Come in, dab in some trees. I lost my foliage brush that I love. I have no idea what I did with it. But this one works. You can get different, levels of tree or forest, which is nice. And I'm digging this green. Give just a bit more water to make it a little more mobile. There we go. I don't want to get it too dark, right? Come in and do a little ground work. Maybe we can take, I'm going to clean my brush pretty well. And take some new gamboge. I really like my yellows to be here, but I messed things up, so we'll just put it here. And I think I'm gonna come on in here and just dab it around. Oh yeah, that brings some life to the piece. I love that. Alright. Should we throw in some color maybe? Maybe it's a fall day. I mean, it's not fall now, but maybe a little bit of Spiral Scarlet. Maybe not a pine tree in Pyral, but some blobs here and there. Little bits of color peeking out. Do you like that? Oh, I kind of dig that. Oh, look at me go. Maybe a little more sap green mixed with that. Was that sap green? No, that's my undersea green. That's what this is. It's a gorgeous color. I'm gonna mix it with that gamboge though and get a more Maybe we want to mix a little more gamboge in there. Get more of a yellow green. Am I liking that? Does it need a touch of blue? Let's put a touch of French Ultra in there. Yeah? I'm thinking about my M. Graham palette. I don't use this palette a lot. I'm gonna go ahead with this Bronzite Genuine because it does have a granulating effect. Pop that in here and there. Okay, I gotta stand up and look at it in the camera because to me it looks really cool. Yeah. So exciting. Alright, now maybe we do a different shape of brush. Maybe this guy. This one is my Zen Art Faux Squirrel 1/4 inch cat's tongue, and this one is my, can't read that, I think it's King Art, yeah. Oh, Royal and Langnickel. I forget what this is called. Filbert. Pretty sure it's Filbert. You guys let me know if I'm wrong. You guys got my back, right? I was gonna go a little bit of gold, a little bit of yellow. I should have cleaned my brush. That's alright, we'll just swoosh it around. There we go. A little bit of bright yellow. A little bit of brightness, right? Here and there. Should I let it dry? I feel like I should let it dry and then put some more brightness like on top. And then put some more green in here. You know what else we can do? Take any kind of instrument that you have. You can use the edge of a palette knife. I happen to have some hat pins, and you can scrape in foliage, foreground foliage. You can scribble in brush. It'll give you textures on your paper, and they'll show up when it's dry. And I think we're going to put in a, not a tall, super tall tree, but a kind of a tree over here maybe, peeking in from the side. Let's go to heat tool. I'm going to heat tool right now. This is a little bit loud. I'm not going to edit it out. I'm loving the different textures between the ultramarine sky. That granulation is beautiful. It makes the clouds look really alive. We're going to try to clean up the little splatters. I'll do that in just a little hot second here. I do like working on a block as well because I don't have to worry about the paper buckling too much, you know what I mean? It stays pretty flat. That. Just want it warm, like dry enough to work on top of. It doesn't need to be completely dry. All right, let's grab this brush. We'll lay it out a little bit. I'll stick it in the green and I'll pop it in the yellow. And just come in here. Make a little more yellow. The orange. I don't need to create a lot of dark spots, but maybe some foliage over here. This brush is pretty dry. I want to wet just the tips, just the tippy tips, and then blot them. Get back in, splay it out. Come in here. Get a little corner of just this bottom edge, more foregroundy area, right? Tap in some foliage. Maybe we're standing on a bluff overlooking the scenery. Maybe turn the brush a bit here and there. Put in some different marks. Flicking it off the edge of the paper and up and in, like that. Alright, now this is my Potter's pink. And then I really feel like I want some of this bright yellow in there, like pockets of it, like that, yeah. Yeah. And this is just pure color on the tip of the brush, not hardly any water. I'm just come in here and give you some fun. Kick that red back just a bit, make it more of an accent color. And maybe I really want to. I'm gonna regret this. Right, this is that Viridian that I really don't care for, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Little pops of green, right? Such a bold green. It also doesn't like to stay in my palette. Is that offering depth, or is it just making a mess? Let's take a look at the camera and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a really busy forest. Looks like we might have a little bit of a field going on right there. I'm going to embrace that. I'm not going to do a lot. I just kind of brighten it in that spot. Maybe there's a little field right there. I like that. More dark trees peeking out. How's that? Should we fuss with it more? I think I don't want a tall tree now that I have it like this. I'm not gonna, my instinct is to put a tall tree in and like obliterate a lot of what's going on. We got too much something there. Alright. So, the thing to do when you get a spot that you don't like, or that is, flat brushes are gone. I lent them to my kids. Alright, will this one work? I used this one with acrylic paint and it's a little firm, but that's alright. Get a fresh paper towel. You don't want to use your dirty paper towel. You'll be mad. You'll be mad. Preferably clean water. And gently pop it on, give it a scrub, and gently dab. My timer for my dinner's going off. Sorry about that. If that's loud. Gently, super gently. You don't want to make it like super obvious. Maybe go in the direction of the marks that are already there. And this brush is very, very stiff. It's got acrylic paint or glue or something dried into it. So it's kind of become my junk brush. And I did have like formal scrubbing brushes. I don't know what I did with them. Maybe they're in storage. There's a very dark mark right there. So not a fan. He's lifting off this paper really nicely. Digging that. There we go. And should we clean this up a bit too around here? Just a little. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just reinforce it. Maybe reinforcing it is a better idea. Yeah, that's a better idea. Let's put some moon glow. It's kind of, ooh, that's dark. Oopsie. So, blatant mistake, right? Just wet the paint. Don't panic. Maybe it's dark on this side. That's okay. Contrast is good. I'm gonna roll with it. Scrub it around a little bit. Okay, maybe we'll do the same thing in another spot. We'll go ahead and get some right here. Remember, this brush is super stiff, so picked up way too much paint. I got way too carried away. There we go. Maybe dab both of those just a little. Get that spot of paint up with the water up right there. I honestly think I want to leave it alone. What do you guys think? Should I leave it alone? Super quick. Well, not super quick. Actually, it was more than a little time consuming. Because I'll put a little bit of green right there. I had to wait for this to dry. And it was probably dry an hour or two ago. I would say 30 minutes to an hour if your house is decently temperatured, like if it's decently warm. And then go ahead and peel off your stuff and get your textures rolling around. There. I like it. I think it looks cool. I'm really loving that ultramarine sky. Check it out. Now this is on a block and we're going to pull it off in a second here, but look at that sky. Those textures. I made a really cool mountain range in the background. I'm digging that a lot. I want to be a little more, on the next practice I want to be a little more intentional about placement, but yeah. Then pull it back. I'm kind of digging it. Alright, so to take this off, you can use a butter knife, your finger. I tend to use my palette knife. There's usually a little pocket where there's no glue. You just tuck it there, and I tend to go away. Let's get these guys out of the way. Away. Otherwise, I rip the sheet underneath because I'm a disaster. Make sure I'm only getting just one sheet. There we go. It was intense. Like that. And you can wait until your piece is completely dry as well. There's nothing saying that you have to peel it off right away. I tend to like to get to my next art piece, so impatience at its best. And then just, there you go. Your next sheet is clean and ready to rock and roll. You didn't get any paint on it. There will be paint on your tape, so you might want to wipe that off before you get rolling on your next piece. But there we go. There's our piece of art for today. Strictly watercolor, super fun. I'm really proud of myself. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of technique. I want to do a couple more, so those will probably be coming up, different kinds of texture experiments. Alright, thanks for being here. Bye!